Okay, this video is going to show you how easy it is to open BaccS for the first time and go straight in to create your first job. When you open BaccS, you'll see the first run assistant, which you can follow through, and that's more or less what I'm going to do right now. First of all, go to the Reference Data tab. I'll click there. We need to enter the languages. To enter the first language, double-click the first field. The red cross means that's a mandatory field. No need to enter any of these fields here, and you can either click Update or you can use Control-Enter to confirm. To enter the next language, just press your Insert key. And instead of pressing Update this time, I'll press Control-Enter. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to close that tab. I've got my languages. Now I'm going to go to Language Directions. So, Reference Data, where we are already, Language Directions. I'm going to double-click the source language. And here, in the drop-down menu, we've already got the ones that we've written in. So my source is Spanish, onto target. My target is English, and Control-Enter to confirm. You can enter more language pairs here if you want to. Okay, that's there, so I'm going to close the Language Directions tab. Now I'm going to check my currencies. That's only necessary if you want any other currencies entered. Mine are fine there, so I won't enter any more. I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to go to Taxes. Double click here. I'll enter VAT and the rate is 21%. Control Enter. That's for me, of course. You'd have to write your own percentage and you can add more fields, and some of them can be negative or they can be positive, whatever you like. I'm going to close that field there, that tab. Okay. And the other one that I'm going to add is Payments Method. Up here. Double click here. I'll enter bank transfer, currency, euros. And the details here, I'd write the name of my bank. Enter to get a new line, the address of my bank, and maybe the IBAN number. So there we are. Okay, Control Enter. That's it. I'm just writing the one in for the moment. So that's done. I'll close that tab. Now we're going to go to Application Setting. You can get there by going up to the cog up here. My details are in here already because I've already filled this in, but you only have to enter the details right now that you need for your first invoice. So your name, probably your address, maybe a VAT number, and so on. So those are the things you have to complete in this tab. Then you go on and go to Application Settings. Here it's important to make sure your base currency is set correctly. I'm going to be working in euros. Set your default language direction. The only one I'm offered is the one that I set up. And now I'm going to go to Invoice Settings and select an invoice template. I'll choose the default one. And this one will be blank because it'll be the default path in that case. So now we save changes. And we will be asked whether we want to save the default currency because that's changed, and whether we want to recreate transactions. So just say yes to that. And now we're ready to create our first job. So we're going to go to Home, Translation Jobs. And of course this is blank, so we want to add new row. Here's the job creation window. First job, numbered 1. We need to change the deadline, and unfortunately this says the current time, which isn't very good. It's much better to have any other delivery time. And the deadline, let's set it in 2 days' time. And then these two, because they've got red crosses, need to be filled in. We haven't entered any clients, so we can actually click this plus sign here. And we can add the client's name and address. And go on. Add the client contact. Here's a plus sign, so we can add a new contact if we don't have any written in yet. Oops. Contact. If you fill in the email and then mark the invoicing, the invoice will be sent to this email address. Won't do that now. Okay. Check the currency, the language direction are correct. You can add a PO number if you like, and any sort of job name. And then we come to the job details area where we have to write in the type of work, nothing in our drop-down menu, so we'll have to add one. We'll write in translation. Okay. And now we can pick it from the drop-down menu. Tab to go to the next field. Notes, I think that's my custom column, it won't be there. Quantity is the number of words, so we'll write in 2,000 words. Unit, we haven't got anything yet, but that might be source word, or it could be number of hours or lines or something like that. There it is, and we'll write in our rate, 12 cents, and then the amount will be updated automatically when I press tab. So now I go up to Save Changes and Close. And you'll see the job in green because its status is processing. Okay, so supposing you've finished your translation, now you come back to this Translation Jobs tab, double click on the job row so that you can insert the delivery date that when you finish it. So we can insert here today's date because we finished it very quickly. And the status changes to sent. So now we save changes and close. And now you're actually ready to invoice the job. The job appears here in red because it's changed to sent, so it shows that you're ready to invoice. So to invoice, select the row, there's only one, by clicking in the left-hand column here, and you go up to Create Invoice up here. Click there. So in the invoice window, the only thing you might want to change is the term when you want it paid by, so you could change the date if you want to. You've got the default payment method, you could change that if you wanted to. At the bottom of the form you can add a tax, and here we set up VAT, so I could add that. And we save changes. After saving the changes, you're ready to print the invoice. Click there. And here's the invoice. If there's any changes you want to make, you can do it later in Word if you want, or you can learn how to customize an invoice in another video that I've recorded. So right now, the thing to do is to export, and to export it as a docs file. You say open file after exporting, and here it is open in Word, where if you want to make any changes you can get rid of the contract if you want and make anything else, any other changes that you want to make. So that's all there is to it. I hope that's shown you how easy it is to set up your first job and invoice it in BaccS.